What if I told you you could remove all shadows? Yeah. But before I give you all the juicy details, I need to remind you to subscribe right now and also hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. Now, how do you do this? It's through a config file. What is a config file? Well, I know config files through Counter-Strike. You would have a config file that has all of your settings. Everything was right there. You didn't have to go through the menu settings. It was just all in a text document. Really easy to find any setting you needed. You didn't have to go to in the actual game to find some specific setting. You could just put everything in one text document, and that handled everything. So it's not some other program. This is not Reshade that we're talking about. This is just a text document that gives you access to settings that you don't see in the menus of Hunt Showdown. And as you can tell, in certain conditions, other hunters can basically glow. And if they don't, then it's the background behind them that glows because it looks like they're outdoors. And you can tell when you go into any dark areas, it just looks different. There's some lighting processing that is not happening. There's a constant ring that's around you that you do actually have shadows in. It's about 20 to 25 meters away. So if something is closer than that to you, it will have shadows, but you can see that circle constantly moving with you. Anything past that does not have any shadows. It just doesn't quite look right indoors. Visibility is way better even within the 25-meter ring. There used to be a Steam launch option for Hunt Showdown that removed a visual mud layer that made vision better. And once that started getting popular, the devs disabled it. So the same thing should happen with this, I think. And at really long ranges, you can tell the trees don't even look right. There's no shadows around the trees. It's very odd looking. It's pretty unfortunate because I actually like the way that it looks. It looks really good inside. I like it. This looks really good. The problem is some people are doing this and other people have no idea that anything like this exists. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to tell you what to put in a config file. This is probably not something that everyone should know about. I did some before and after testing at different compounds so you can see the difference for yourself. It's pretty amazing. All the areas that are typically super dark are actually really well lit. You can see where that 25-meter ring is around you still. But overall, just really bright downstairs. Underneath the chapel is one of my least favorite places to go, and it looks totally fine underneath there. And outdoors with this time of day, it looks like there's a nuclear explosion going off outside. The trees really far in the distance just look really bizarre. But you know, if the game actually looked like this normally and everyone had this, I would actually like it. Now this is with that config file disabled. These are my normal settings. This is what I typically play with. You can see it's way darker. This is what it's quote unquote supposed to look like. And it's very dark. It's very not fun to play in. But this is how it is. Now for my other least favorite place, the underground of pitching, it's also typically a very dark, terrible place to be. But with this, you can see pretty much fine. Everything off in the distance is really well lit. I feel like you could see somebody hiding behind a tree very easily if they were there. Now here, the config file is disabled again, and you can see what regular pitching looks like. It's a dark, terrible place to be. Blanchett typically isn't too bad, but you can see what the interior of the church looks like here. Again, nice, bright. All the other players would be fairly easy to spot. No super dark corners for anybody to hide in. And nice visibility off in the distance too. Here is Blanchett with the config file disabled. You can see what it looks like normally. You know, with the new event going on and the new wildcard contract, I wonder what this looks like in the rain.